Ich bin nicht allein, doch fühle mich einsam. Bin 0,0 mit meinen Gefühlen im Einklang. Seh mich nachher, folgt, doch fürchte das Scheitern. Ich tanz auf der Party, doch eigentlich würde ich gern heimfahren. Himmel hoch, jauchten, zu Tode betrübt. Ich hätte gerne
Hello. So, missed a couple, normally don't stream on Sundays, but I missed a couple of streams, so I'm gonna be doing a couple extra streams today and this upcoming week to make up for this. Pokemon Master Cube says, blood for the Blood God, skulls for the Skull Throne, dreams for... I got nothing that one. You forgot the most important one, which is, Sneks for the Snek orbs. Slim says, hello, how's the snow and ice and general hellscape? You know, it's not a hellscape, it's more like a limboscape. There's enough snow and ice to cause problems, but not enough snow and ice to blanket everything, and thus make it look like you could actually go out and enjoy the snow. It's like there's plenty of snow and ice around, but it's all patches on everywhere except for the road. So you can't really. So there's not enough to go out and like make a snowman or do it or enjoy the winter wonderland, but still enough to cause problems. So yeah, that's why I wasn't able to stream on Thursday. I had to help my family prepare. Had to help my parents prepare for the snowing. Hey, Fredhead, welcome in. Who's watching on YouTube? Market Mask is only tiny bit of snow ice is still not to be. What? Oh, oh, you mean ICE? Yeah. Only tiny bit of snow/ice is still not to be a disability hate crime. Oh, I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about like the recent crimes committed by ICE. Which could mean any number of things. Bunch of assholes. Anyway. Oh yeah, if I feel it's pretty, my stance on most things, I feel it's pretty clear that I am a fan of abolishing ICE. But anyway. Sleep says, all the snow/ice I got was relegated to trees. There's barely even frost on the ground. So yeah, we got enough ice and snow over here to like cause problems, but not enough to where I could actually go out and enjoy it. So there's a side note, cool as hell visuals to see icicles hanging off the pine needles. Well, at least, I gotta say though, at least the cat's enjoying the weather. My parents' cat is enjoying the weather. She's loving it. She gets to come inside and like sleep in one of the rooms, and then she gets to like, doesn't have to really worry about, and she gets to sit in the utility room and not really like, and just like sit there, and then meow at us. So yeah, she's having a blast. She's having a heck of a time. And she gets to climb on over more stuff because there's like ice, because like we had to move some stuff around, so she's found new areas to climb around. Yeah, she's having a wonderful time. Anyway, so last we left off, I was in the Forest of Sneks, so we will be returning to the Forest of Sneks. Well, after I like level up, we'll return to the Forest of Sneks.
What is it? Very well, let me.
We return to the Forest of Sneks and continue exploring and dealing with the Sneks. Yeah, I also had to miss yesterday's stream. Okay, Master Cube says, ah, cool, you found the Sneks, yes. And I realized, as of last stream, I realized that everyone makes a joke about how much From Software those devs at From Software love Poison Swamps, but we also need to start making jokes about how much FromSoft hates snakes. Can't stand them. Those devs just don't like snakes. If they have a game where you're not, it's no wonder that they haven't. It's no wonder that they're more focused on their Soulsborne games instead of re-releasing any Armored Core games. And it's because in Armored Core you don't kill snakes. Like, there's those giant snakes in Dark Souls that tell you where to go. There's the whole forest of snakes here. There's that one giant god snake in Sekiro you have to kill. There's the other giant god snake there's the other giant god snake in Elden Ring. Okay, what do I need to upgrade? What should I upgrade? Pokemon Master Cube says AC6 got close. Just cause they Just they called it a worm instead of rather than snake. You know what? That might have been why we ended up getting an Armored Core 6, because someone at the development team realized, wait, we can't make a giant robot snake, but we can make a giant robot worm, which is kind of close to a snake. And they're like, oh, okay, we can bring Armored Core back, but we have to put in the thing that looks like... We have to put in a snake or a thing that is like a snake. I guess... You know, I'm walking into an area with where, like, the snakes are going to have poison, so I'm going to... Yeah, I guess I'll increase my poison resistance. So, just to let y'all know where we're at with the Bloodborne Emergency Donathon. So, about $510 has been donated towards this. So we're working our way towards the $600 donation goal, which is me playing The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker for the first time. And then if we somehow make it past that goal... we're gonna... we'll then work our way towards the $700 donation goal, which is y'all getting to decide a new emote for the channel. Then if we make it past that to $800, there'll be some D&D solo adventures, where it'll be like smaller D&D campaigns, like designed for one person to play. If we reach $900, y'all will get to then I'll play Sonic Adventure 2 for the first time. And if we reach $1,000, y'all will get to decide a game I must 100%. So, as always, bit subs and gift subs are always appreciated. However, direct donations are also appreciated, because they'll... Direct donations to my PayPal are also appreciated, because they because the money you donate to me will reach me directly, instead of me having to wait a little bit. Also, because my birthday is in just a few days... Because my birthday is in just a few days, well, I'm gonna put the PayPal link in the YouTube chat. But then also, because my birthday is in just a few days, I went ahead and I re-added stuff onto my throne. I rebuilt my throne list. It is a small list now. Yeah, it's a small list. Hold on, let me just try and find it. It might actually, the link might still be here. Throne, okay. Yep, okay. Yeah, link still works. So yeah, really all that's on there right now is just like a couple of shirts. Unfortunately, some of the shirts that I really wanted to get got delisted, so can't get those anymore. Then there's like 3 video games. Super Robot Wars Y, Digimon Story Time Stranger, and Tales of Ilia. Remastered, because those are 3 games that if I were to ever get them, I would immediately like make plans to play them. And then of course Super Robot Wars Y. I mean that one I still need to. If I did, that was bought for me. I'd need to take time to play or to watch through all the remaining mech shows that are featured in it. But I would make plans to play it. That would move up my my priority list. I also added a Switch 2 in there. I don't think that's. These are all things that would be nice for me to receive, but if nobody donates or gets me one of these, that's fine. If I can get enough money, I'll get these things for myself, and then I'll just remove it from the list. But yeah, a Switch 2 is on there. The main thing though I put on there is like it's another way is I added some like payouts options where you could help me pay for bills, because that's something I have to do. I still have to do even though I don't have a job. So there are options there to help me pay for bills, either $20, $50, or $100. And if that is, yeah, if either something is bought as part of the Donathon, or if something is bought on Throne, like one of the gifts are bought, or one of the gifts is basically the way that it's going to work on Throne is a little different than how it is with it's going to work a little differently than how it works with a PayPal or the Twitch donations, because I won't really receive the thing until it's unless a thing is like I won't receive any of the gifts or like any of the I won't receive any of the gifts on Throne unless it's like fully paid for, unless it's been paid for. Then I probably won't count that to a Donathon unless one of the the things is fully purchased. Because if I don't, then someone could because if I don't, then while I do appreciate anyone donating towards, like, or donating towards one of the things on Throne, one of the things I have on Throne, or one of the gifts I have on Throne. Because those gifts, like, I'm not set to get those gifts until it's fully paid off. Someone could donate, and then I don't receive the money they donate through that gift until, like, who knows how long. So yeah, with Throne, it's going to be a little bit different. You can, if you want to give me something on Throne, that will count towards the Donathon. But how it'll work is a little different than, like, the subs, bits, gift subs, or direct donations. Instead, how it'll work is once one of the different gifts has been, like, fully purchased, that will then be added to the Donathon. Whether that be one of the games or, like, someone donates to one of the things that'll help me pay for bills. Either or. But anyway, so yeah, let me keep going. And of course, like, if that is happened, like any of the gifts on Throne are bought, then that will, in addition to counting towards the donation goals, that will also be added that will add to the remaining lives for this. Alright, we're in the Forbidden Woods. Sleeper says, it's weird when you realize you're the same age as the character in the game you're playing. At this point, really, I'm only a few days from turning 30, so at this point, I'm beyond the ages of most of the characters in the games I'm playing. Which means I need to make what I will then need to do is make games where there are characters that are older than me as the main playable characters, and then play those games that I make on stream, so that then I can keep playing games where the characters are actually older than me. Oh, that's right, it's the birds. Angry Birds. So if you weren't here for the most of the last stream, I was in the most of the last stream. Yeah, I was in the forest of Sneks. Or excuse me, I reached the forest of Sneks, so that's where we're gonna go. Gonna continue there. Back in Pokemon Massachusetts, so the year I was born, 1989. Phantasy Stars 2, Super Mario Land, Pipe Mania, Mega Man 2 Western release, Mother Japan only, Prince of Persia, Castlevania 3, Minesweeper. I think also, let me check. Final Fantasy 2 is 1998. Final Fantasy 3 is 1990. So okay, there was no Final Fantasy released in that year. Alright, here we are. Back in the Snek Forest, the forest of the Sneks. They really, for this part of the area, they really, the devs for this game said, okay, we really like that whole, that opening village and forest area of Resident Evil 4. However, we noticed that you use like some sort of virus and a cult. You use like some sort of virus-based cult that would like turn people into undead monstrosities, and like that's an important thing to like call out. However, there's not enough evil snakes to our liking. We really feel that Resident Evil 4 should have brought more attention to the threat of snake cults. And now here we are. I gotta keep an eye out. The Snek orbs aren't... Pokemon Massachusetts says, just you wait for the DLC. They went up that. Oh, that's right. I am gonna have to play the DLC at some point. Sleep says, so the one I know for sure was FF7, PS1, but in addition to that one, 1997 also saw the releases of Super Mario 64, GoldenEye 007, Diablo, and Crash Bandicoot 2. Interesting. I was born in 96, so I'll have to check to see. Well, we know what some of the games that were released the year I was born. Resident Evil 1 turns 30 years old the same year I do, so. Yeah, the Orb of Sneks aren't too difficult to deal with on their own. It's just that they have numbers. So yeah, any game that has like a big anniversary this year, y'all will know that that's like was released the same year I was born. So yeah, Resident Evil 1 is definitely one of them. Sleep says, oh yeah, just look for all the 30th anniversaries this year to see what all came with Brawl. Let's just see what all came with Brawl. Sleep says, I think you got Ocarina of Time then. Huh. So I do know that this is a major anniversary year for Final Fantasy X. Well, no, that's not 1996. No, that Final Fantasy X isn't like 30 years old because Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII was like 97. So well, let's look. Let's see what it is. Let's see, 1996 in video games. Okay, we got Street Fighter Alpha 2, Pokemon Red, Green, and Blue. So Pokemon Red, Green, and Blue. So Gen 1 of Pokemon. Mario Kart 64, King's Field 3, my eternal enemy, Crash Bandicoot 1, Resident Evil, Soul Edge, so the very first Soul Calibur game. That's very funny that Soul Edge and Resident Evil both released the year I was born. Those series started the year I was born, considering I'm such a fan of those series. Surprise! Well, I got them down to half health. Okay, no, this is a mistake. This is a mistake. Horrible mistake. Horrible mistake. Let's see. Oh, Dead or Alive 1 also released the year. Dead or Alive 1 also released in '96. So, which is another series I have interest. That's another series I like. Dang, if that's the case, then I absolutely should do at some point the Dead or Alive, like a Dead or Alive series retrospective, at some point this year, because that's like, yeah, at some point this year, Dead or Alive series retrospective, because I mean, this is the perfect year to do it if it's like 30 years, if we've reached its 30-year anniversary. Sleep says, give me DOA X4, you cowards, globally this time. Man, it would be great if we could get a new Dead or Alive, but I don't... Or at least a collection of all the other games, because I have like a lot of the older games on my Xbox One, but I had to get them like individually. And it'd be great if we could get like one of the ways Capcom was really smart was realizing like, hey, people want to play these older fighting games. Let's make a collection of all these games that people won't shut up about us making a collection for. And that's how we got like the Marvel vs. And then we got the Marvel vs. Capcom collection and like the Capcom versus the Capcom Fighting Collections 1 and 2. Like a Tekken or DOA collection would be great. Or a Soul Calibur collection. Pokemon Master Q says, you know why they went for snack cults like the Parasites in RE4 through 6? Because RE6 came out in 2012, which is when Bloodborne went into full production, and probably is what they were playing at the time in the studio. No, it was definitely like their hatred of snakes. It was definitely their hatred of snakes. I don't think Resident Evil 6 had an influence on this game. Resident Evil 4, I could see that having an influence, but So it says, thank you, Capcom, for finally making Mega Man Star Force Collection. Yeah, that's one of the smart things Capcom has done is realize, like, oh, we could make more money off of these old games if we just release them in a nice way for people to play. Okay, so another game I'm going to have to play this year at some point because this also has a major anniversary. Sakura Wars, released in 96. And that is a game, like... That is a game that if we end up doing, like... If the 700 follower celebration is mech games and not Akira Toriyama games, then Sakura Wars is, like... It's high on the priority list for games I play for that, because that would be, like, a perfect game to play on this channel. That would be a perfect game for me to play on this channel. That's one of those games that, like, my whole, like, what I like to do on this channel, or, like, my mission statement with this channel, was, like, made for games like Sakura Wars. Let's see. Pokemon Cube says, me wishing for the Rogue Squadron games to be ported to modern consoles, though Anniversary was still a couple years off. Okay, so looking... What else released in 96? Okay, Pokemon, Fighters Megamix, yeah, Super Mario 64, Resident Evil, Tekken 2. Street Fighter Alpha 2, Virtua Fighter 3, Dungeons & Dragons Shadows over Mystara. Ooh, that's a good one. Ah, Real Bout Fatal Fury released in 96. At least. Yeah, Real Bout Fatal Fury released in 96. Ooh, and Metal Slug 1. Dang, a lot of the series that I like actually got their start the same year I was born. I think that could be going back the same way, okay. Wait. Okay, I got turned around somewhere. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. When did... So yeah, there's quite a few games I should play this year at some point because they had, they released in 96. Okay. That's right, they replaced the cannon with snake cannons. Yeah, I try and go near that thing. It's got smaller Snek orbs guarding it. Let's see. But yeah, some other fighting game collections like the like a Soul Calibur collection, Tekken collection, Dead or Alive collection. Those would be great. Like, thank God we got Darkstalkers in that Capcom Fighting Collection 1, and you got like all 5 games. Speaking of which, when I do the whenever I do the Capcom Fighters Marathon from Hell, almost guarantee that Darkstalkers is going to feature in that. Any chance I have to play Darkstalkers on the channel, I will take. Got one of them. Oh, and just where we're at with the lives counter, I'm at 375 out of 558 lives. So I've got about 375 lives left. And again, if this playthrough, if I lose all my remaining lives before I beat this game, before this game ends, then that's the end of the playthrough. Pokemon Master says, try to decide what was worse, the snake balls in this or the worm faces in Elden Ring. Well, I haven't played Elden Ring yet, but the greater snake orbs are the real problems here. The snake heads are... Honestly, the orbs of Snek are like the least threatening enemies here. Just like a couple quick strikes and you can get them. They're not too fast. They're not too fast in movement unless you, like... except just they're not too fast in like moving to get closer to you. So if you could like move fast enough, you can get around them. It's these greater snake, these greater Snek lords with their poison cannons. Worm faces, Pokemon says, worm faces like that giant snake ball shooting bile at you just is bile that builds up for instant death. Of course it is. Of course the bile builds up for instant death. Ow! I'm using up a lot of these things here. Whoop. What got him? I didn't kill them. It might have been the fire that got him. Oh, someone's not happy about this. Nothing but corruption here. Fucking Maskew says, I think it crawled to the fire. I think so, too. Okay, I'm gonna keep an eye out for more Sneks. Honestly, a lot of... Oh, no. Oh, they can summon Snek balls. Honestly, as much as we make fun of Square Enix, as we should, they make a lot of weird decisions. They're also like Capcom, and like one of their good decisions is that also like Capcom, they release a bunch of collections or remasters of older games. Like that Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster collection is so helpful for me doing First Fantasy. And I mean, I've said this before. I said this before, but like one of the reasons I was like willing to start First Fantasy was because most of the Final Fantasies you can get like very easily on modern systems. So it says, provided Square's got the rights to a thing, they're pretty good at keeping their popular stuff on modern hardware. And I'm happy for that. Because again, it's really helped me out. Okay, there's more Snorbs. Or Snarebs. Is that a giant pig? Pokemon Askew says, you say that? I then point out a Xenogears. That is one of the ones that they could receive a review. Yeah, it's most of their games. There are some... Most of Square Enix's games. There are a couple of major... There are a couple of major games made by Square Enix that people have been begging for a re-release of, and they haven't given them in. Xenogears is a major one. Chrono Trigger is another major one. So that's fair, but I also wonder how much of the Xenogears source code is left. Are you saying it might be one of those situations where they just tossed out the source code after they were done with the game and didn't? Says Chrono Trigger, I think, has rights tied up in Toei. That's what I've heard as well, that Chrono Trigger has rights tied up in Toei. Although, speaking of things by Akira Toriyama, it looks like they finally announced that they are going to continue the Dragon Ball Super anime with a new series about like the Wizard Goat arc. Yeah, the Wizard Goat arc of Dragon Ball Super is going to be getting an anime. Okay, that was the wrong move. Oh, shit. Got it. Hooray! Okay. Okay, there's Snorbs over here. A lot of Snorbs. Gosh, do I wish I had some Molotovs. Pokemon Mascu says, it was their game that Square published and owns the IP on. Same happened with Xenosaga and Bandai. And both Square and Bandai have confirmed that they have a source copy of Gear Saga but won't use it. That looks like a greater Snek orb. A greater Snorb. I keep hearing a pig around here, but I don't see them. Uh-oh. Let's not go that way. Sleeves is fair enough then. Maybe if the new Monolith game does super good, then they'll think about this time. Well, it seems like this is one of those situations where I need to, like, maybe get to playing the original Xenogears on the channel, and then if I do that, and then after I do that, we're gonna find out that, then right after I beat the original version of Xenogears on the channel, we're gonna find out, they're gonna announce, like, a remaster, or remake. Like this, like, less than a month after I beat it. Okay. That definitely sounds like something down there. Yeah, I was hearing that pig from far away. Unless this is a second pig. So, just want to say, if you're enjoying the stream, please consider donating. Bit subs, direct donations, gift subs, and gifting to my throne will add more. They'll add more lives, which will mean I'll have to continue playing Bloodborne, because this playthrough is going to go until after I lose all my remaining lives, and it will also count towards our different donation goals. I feel like this is poisonous. Let me just see if I can skirt around the edge of that. Uh-oh. I'm trying to see if I can get the timing right for the parry, though. Maybe when they swing the axe. Yeah, maybe when they swing the axe. Okay, there. In that case, since I got 2 more blood vials, let me go and heal a little bit. There's something here. It looks like a wall, so I might be, like, near the side of a new village. Which likely means more enemies. Wait, does this... Did I just come right back the way I came? Hold on. Yeah, did I just come right back the way I came? 'Cause... No, this... Okay, this leads here. Wait. This leads to where I first found that Snek man. I think this is where it's at. Okay, well... I guess let me keep going. Yeah, I guess let me continue onward. Seems like... I guess then if I take a different path, I could then use that shortcut to get further down here, but... Well, let me look around and see where I should go from here. Don't want to go down there, because there's that pig around there. Okay, let's grab this. So, since I wasn't able to stream Thursday and Saturday, just to let y'all know how the streams are going to work for this upcoming week, so, of course I'm live right now, today. I will be live on Monday. I will be live on Monday. And... I'll be live again on Tuesday. I'm going to try to do like a 6-hour stream instead of a 4-hour stream on Tuesday. Since that is my birthday. And I'm not sure what I'll play yet. I'll be thinking about it, but... Yeah, I'll be thinking about it because... The schedules were going to work a little bit differently. So yeah, Tuesday will be like a 6-hour long like special stream. I might not continue any of the playthroughs I'm currently doing. I might use Tuesday to just like play some of the games I've been meaning to play on the channel for some time. Like Street Fighter. And then I won't stream on Wednesday. Yeah, there won't be a stream on Wednesday. And then on Thursday I'll be back with another stream. Then because I missed, like, then to kind of make up for lost time... Ow. Yeah, to make up for lost time, I'll also stream Friday of this upcoming week. And then I'll stream Saturday. So it'll be like streams today. So there'll be streams today, Monday, and Tuesday, which will be the birthday stream. And then no stream on Wednesday, and then streams on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Oh, don't like those noises. A whole new set of noises I don't like hearing. Oh, it's you guys. I really need to just get like a bunch of Molotovs. You. Yep, a bunch of Molotovs. But I'm definitely going to play some more Bloodborne this week. There's definitely going to be more streams of Bloodborne to make up for lost time. There's going to be at least one stream of RoboCop Rogue City. Maybe multiple to, like, again, make up for lost time, because I missed yesterday's stream. And then, yeah, maybe a stream of something else on my birthday. I'll be thinking about it. I might even play multiple games. Oh, that's wonderful. You're great. Beautiful. Lovely. Sorry for disturbing you. As you were. Okay, so this does... Great. Dang it. Okay, so... Ah, not another one. Well, that explains why I heard pig. Why I heard more pigs. There were 2 pigs. That looks like it might actually be the area I need to go, but... Sue says, hey, you found the pig. I found the second pig. I already found the first one. Yeah, I already found the first one, but now I found the second one. This does look like... Uh-oh. Can they reach me up here? They're gonna try to reach me up here. Oh, geez, that's... Yeah, that poisoned me. I really don't get how that's slow poison, considering that that builds up so fast. Unless I just need higher poison resistance. Well, let's see what I have here. Nah, okay, nope. No. No. I was hoping I could maybe kind of stab it with the, I was hoping I could maybe kind of stab it with the torch and light on fire. Okay, is it charging around here, or... Because it also got that thing there to deal with. If you're just joining the stream, welcome in. I normally don't stream on Sundays, but I made an exception this day because I missed a couple of streams. Thanks to the weather. So this is Bloodborne Emergency Donathon, day 12. Technically day, like, maybe almost 70. This Donathon has really been going on... It really has been going on for, like, over 2 months. It's just that I haven't been able to play Bloodborne just because I've been playing Bloodborne less than the number of days I originally expected, due to various things keep happening. Yeah, I'm currently. If you haven't seen one of these streams before, the way it works is I'm trying to play through Bloodborne for the first time with a limited number of lives, and every dollar donated adds another life. So either like $1 adds like 1 life. 100 bits adds 100 bits adds like 100 bits adds 1 life. Subbing to the channel adds 6 lives because that's like $6. If you give to the sub to the channel, well, that's like how many subs you give times $6. So that's like 6 lives for each gift sub. And I do also have I've reactivated my throne, or basically like updated my my throne wish list. So now if someone were to buy me one of the gifts I have on throne, however much money they spent to like complete that gift, that would add the amount of money they donated that got me that gift. That would add it to my throne, or excuse me, that would count towards the Donathon. Okay. So yeah, bit subs and gift subs do count. Direct donations do count a bit Direct donations do help a bit more, though, because I'll receive the money you donate immediately instead of having to wait. So if you're able to, please consider donating towards my PayPal, because again, it will help me out a little bit. Help me out a bit more, just because I'll receive the money you donate immediately. All right, so yeah, I'm at 474 lives. So, because I am now in the Forest of Sneks, although I've taken a detour through the Forest of Sneks to return to another area, I'm gonna assume that the boss for this area is gonna be a giant Snek. Because again, FromSoft just really hates snakes. Can't stand them. And that's why we haven't seen an Armored Core game for so long, is because well, you don't fight giant snakes anymore. I think what I have to do is go through here and then make it to... Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to take this path down here and then, like, continue into that area where I first found the Sneckerman. Because I've got, like, now I've now got a greater shortcut. Yeah, I've got a better shortcut to go through. Or, like, a shortcut that will take me farther. Pokemon Q says, you know what? Just don't anger Mesmer and Shadow the Erdtree. He loves his snakes. Oh my god, wait, that's right. Shadow the Erdtree, like one of the main villains for that, is also a Sneckerman. So that means there's not one, but 2 giant Snek fights in Elden Ring. They had you fight that giant Snek. They have you fight that giant Snek possessed by that one guy, and said, that's not enough. That's not enough dead Sneks. We need to have people kill more. And then they made and that's why they added the Shadow the Erdtree DLC, is just so they could have the players of Elden Ring kill more Sneks. Someone should really check on the devs for FromSoft. This seems to be like an unhealthy... This is almost getting to like unhealthy obsession levels of like Snek killing that they've got here. Pokemask says, not so much a giant Snek fight with Mesmer, more attack channeling with him. You don't really fight his Snek form. And it doesn't matter. If he has, like, Sneks in... If he uses Sneks in any way, if he uses Sneks to, like, fight you in some way, then yeah, it's a giant Snek. Then yeah. For the purposes of FromSoft's vendetta against, Sneks, then it'll work. As long as they make the player kill something with snakes. Yeah, as long as they make the player kill something snake-like. Oh, wait, I'm gonna have to deal with the damn cannon, aren't I, if I go through this path again? Pokemon Scoop says, giant snake attack in a tiny room. Yes. Exactly. Less room for the snake to escape, so that the players are more likely to. So that Soulsborne players are more likely to kill it. Do I really want to keep going through here if I have to deal with the cannon bullshit again? I guess let's try it out. Sleep says, as a snake hater, I can confirm that I enjoy how many I get to kill in FromSoft games. Dang. Well, now we... Sleepless, you telling me that you've been working for From Software this whole time? Sleep says, bro, I wish. I mean, I wish too. I mean, if I were working for From Software, I would also be like still trying to take the time to make the games I would want to make. But dang, I would. Dang, I don't know what the like the corporate what the company like attitude there is at From Software, but considering we don't really hear much about it, or like we don't really hear like many negative stories or many tales of people leaving. That's kind of a good sign in and of itself for how good the corporate culture, or for like how good working at the company could be. Pokemon Q says, I'm not a fan of Snakes either. Most disturbing was Rhyhorn and Elden Ring. Okay, so that's 373 lives. I don't think I'm going to take this second shortcut. I'm just going to continue running down the first shortcut because I don't like dealing with this cannon. Detective Hark says, Sleepy would probably be making less money, though. Sleepless says, although let's be real, if I was going to be on any team, I'd want to be in Kingdom Hearts. Are you sure about that, Sleepless? That would be that you wouldn't be, that would be that you would have not been doing any work for like the past 5 years. That would be that you were, that would be that you were told that you are working on it, but you might not actually be working on it for the past 5 or 6 years. And then you'd have to take part in some you'd have to take part in some weird psyop to tell people that Kingdom Hearts 4 exists, to like make a trailer to convince people that Kingdom Hearts 4 exists, even though that was just psyop. We all hallucinated that trailer. Tev Heart says Sleepy's employment is in question for years anyway. At least you'd have to. Hope you're doing well, Detective. And if anyone here watching this is in one of the regions where it's cold, where you're dealing with the Big Freeze 2026 edition, hope y'all are staying well. Pokemon Askew says the reason we don't hear Japan firing people very often, rather than fire you unless you did something really bad, if they want to get rid of people, they just move you to a room with nothing to do. You just sit there in silence all day. The idea is they bore you into quitting. Well, we have heard stories of like something like that happening to like Harada, where he actually like talking about like why he was able to keep working on Tekken was like even when Bandai Namco he did a good job like making Tekken work, and then Bandai Namco was like, oh man, you're doing really good with this Tekken, let's move you somewhere else. Let's move you to a completely different team that isn't involved with Tekken because of all the great work you did on Tekken. And he was like, then he would actually tell the story of like how even after he was moved off the Tekken team, he would still work on Tekken or still help with Tekken to kind of keep the series going. And kind of like to keep Bandai Namco making Tekken. Sleepless says, look, I gotta deal with Detective being pessimistic about Kingdom Hearts 4 and DMs. I don't know what to deal with it here too, man. Okay, well, to help Sleepless out, then we'll stop being pessimistic about Kingdom Hearts 4. We'll instead be pessimistic about another Tetsuya Nomura game. Feel free to suggest one you want to be pessimistic about in the chat. Dev Heart says, or they turn you into janitors. People's duties can be very vague in Japanese companies, so they could suddenly find you, so you could suddenly find yourself only cleaning toilets. Dev Heart says Remake 3. I haven't played enough about Rebirth to actually like be pessimistic or optimistic about Remake 3. About like Final Fantasy VII Remake 3. And I'm trying to like avoid any spoilers in case they do. I know like it's still Final Fantasy VII story, but from what I've heard, there could be like some changes to Final Fantasy VII. Like the biggest complaint I've heard about FF7 Rebirth is that there is some change to the story there that people didn't like. I was thinking World of Final Fantasy, but Sleeper says the world ends with you 3. Okay, we could be pessimistic about that. We could be pessimistic about that one. Pokemon Askew says, see, when you put into these groups, there's nothing in the room other than just a chair and a clock. You have no work to do and you can't do anything. Pokemon Cube says, spoiler, Batman shows up to save the day. Why? Because he's Batman. Time Hark says, Sleepy doesn't like to bring up World of Final Fantasy around me because I beat it and still drag it. Detective, I'd like you to imagine, like, you and me doing, like, the whole Cyclops and Ryu from Street Fighter handshake that is like shown on the cover of like MV of the Marvel vs. Capcom collection. I'm just like, yeah, but it's for bashing World of Final Fantasy. That is so. I've mentioned before that I'm still trying to like. I'm leaving the 40th spot open for First Fantasy, and there are a number of contenders on there. And one of them is World of Final Fantasy for the 40th Final Fantasy game. However, it's really only on there because I do still own it, because you know I got the digital version of it, so I have it on my Switch. Well, I could like re-download it to my Switch. But there are a couple of like, even though First Fantasy is all about like the RPGs in Final Fantasy, there are some non-RPGs I think I'd rather play than trying to return to World of Final Fantasy. Sleep says, bro asked for a Nomura game. World of Final Fantasy wasn't him as best I know. Then why do you... Sleepless. Then why do you keep trying to say Nomura should make a new World of Final Fantasy? Don't say you haven't. I could pull up the Discord messages. Sleep says, I don't? I will pull up the Discord messages right now. Sleepless. November 5th, 2025. Oh, I see how it is, Brawl Kaiser. You could use your powers for this, but not to give me a World of Final Fantasy sequel. To which I replied, I'm not going to use my powers for this. Instead of, I'm not going to wish for a World of Final Fantasy sequel because Tetsuya Nomura and his team already have enough work to do without trying to make 4K models of Final Fantasy protagonist Funko Pops. So, oh, and looking it up, he was the artist on World of Final Fantasy. So yeah, Tetsuya Nomura was involved with it. Slim says, yes, I want a World of Final Fantasy sequel, but I don't need Nomura to do it. Parker Maskew says, Mario is more of a chance than whoever you're on about. That actually makes me... Oh yeah, that reminds me. That reminds me. I probably should watch that trailer for the Super Mario Galaxy movie that they announced Yoshi in, but... Oh, at some point during the stream, we will watch the trailer because a trailer for Alex in Street Fighter 6 was released. And gonna watch that at some point during the stream. Actually, fuck it, let's do that right now. I'd rather do that than go back into the Forest of Snakes right now. Oh, I've got these trailers pulled up, so... So yeah, first the Alex trailer, then I guess the Yoshi trailer. Okay, here we go. You'll just have to hear the sounds of these little guys crying whilst we watch